Well, welcome to our Sunday service from Sutton Village Church. Now, as you are probably aware, this weekend marks the 75th anniversary of the end of World War II, and I thought it would be fascinating to speak to three of our church members who experienced it all firsthand. So for the next few minutes, we're going to enjoy the memories of Doreen, Nita, and first of all, Joan, who was 17, the same age as my daughter Olivia is now, as the war was ending in the spring of 1945.
Well, I know I joined the Women's Junior Air Corps. I was working. I've been working 3 years then, from 14. I was a machinist. I made shirts for all the forces. That was in St Helens North Road shirt factory.
Nita, you'd have been about 7. What do you remember?
I can remember all sorts of things from the war, all the bombs dropping and being carried into an air raid shelter at night. We could go out, though. You know what I mean? I can remember having to take your gas mask to school, and if the air raid went, you had to go and sit in the cloakroom. I'm not quite sure how safe that was.
Doreen, you'd have been in your late teens. What were you doing during the war?
At 14, when we finished school then, we went to British SEDAC. And the British SEDAC was a lot of girls just making paper bags. And then I went to work at Marks and Spencer's because some of them girls older had gone to the army or the Air Force or the Land Army, you know.
Joan, what was life like for a 17-year-old back in 1945?
Well, to be honest, it was all right for me. I don't think we realised, like our parents did, what was going on. I mean, we only knew what was going on through going through the pictures to see passing news of what was going on everywhere else. But I mean, I never had to fire watch or anything like that. I wasn't old enough.
Doreen, I know your brother Eric, Susan's dad, was in the RAF. Tell us about him.
While I was growing up, he was 5 years older than me, and he used to work through the day. And then he'd go to school at night for Morse code and everything like that, so that he was already with that when he went in, and that's what he did do. Bombers, not Spitfires or anything. Bombers, they went in. And he got Air Force Medal and took my mum and his wife to Buckingham Palace, and they got it.
And he wasn't the only one from our church to see action, was he?
There was lots of lads who went from chapel at that time. You probably forgot some of them. But, I mean, there was one lad at Army who did die at Dunkirk.
This is Jenny Worley's brother, Billy, yeah?
They all come to church, all their family. And that he was very young, under 20 or under, when he got killed. And so there was quite a few went and they used to sing at chapel. God be with us till we meet again. You know what I mean? They used to sing all that at chapel.
Did you get a sense in the spring of 1945 that the war was coming to an end?
It's like this with the problem we have at the moment. People would think, well, soon I'll be getting rid of gas masks and I'll be getting rid of identity cards and ration books and I won't have no more gas on my shoulders and carrying it about. People would have thought that's coming up. At least we'll get some more sweets and toffees and chocolates. Maybe they thought of the best of things, I think, then. And, of course, you see, church was a lot then because, remember, there wasn't as much that goes on now to bring people away like the young ones. Then it used to be full.
Joan, how did you hear that war was over?
I think I was at work. That's how we found out. And, of course, the next thing was we could discard the gas mask and what have you. I remember everybody being excited. And I remember church bells ringing. But I never was actually in... You know how they were celebrating all over everywhere, outside. Well, I wasn't allowed out at night anyway, so I couldn't celebrate like that. But we was all excited about it being over.
Doreen?
Everybody was singing, dancing, and there was people playing mouth organs and people on accordion singing White Cliffs and Over, you know, as well as the other songs. Put your foot out in and you put out, and then the Yanks was here, so they brought all the dancing. Yeah, it was good.
Nita, what do you remember?
That was exciting. Everybody was excited, dancing in the streets. I mean, there wasn't a lot of food about, but we did manage to put things together, I suppose our parents did. And it was the fact that my dad would be coming home because he was working in Coventry and Birmingham during the war. He was working on Spitfires. I don't exactly know what he did. I can remember standing at the door one day because he was coming home for a few days. And it was absolutely pouring with rain. I didn't care about the rain. I just wanted to see my dad. And I said a thing to remember. You know, he brought me mum a green necklace.
Was there a party at church?
No. How could we have a party with no water inside church at all? It was all outside in the yard. The only toilet was outside in the yard.
So there'd be none of this wash your hands for 20 seconds stuff we're having to do now.
That's what struck me this morning. That how did we ever wash our hands? And I can't remember.
Joan, despite everything that was going on, was church still important?
Well, yes, because the church was full at that time, you know. And I was a Sunday school teacher, and that was our life, really, going to church.
Church was always packed in those days. You know, I can remember, even as a teenager, church was full at service, but the service was in the evening, not in the morning. Yeah, I can remember we always went to church, all the family.
Joan, how important has church been to you through your life?
It's been very important to me. I've always gone to church, and I've always had faith, and I've always done a lot of praying, not only for myself, but for everybody else. And especially at this time with this virus going around, it's really bothering me that we can't go to church at the moment. It just worries you, wondering when we're all going to get back to normal.
Nita, how crucial has faith been to you in difficult times?
I think it's the main thing that you need. I don't think I could cope at all with life without my faith. I really couldn't. I mean, I've always gone to church. I've never known any other way of life, Chris, because we went as children. My parents went, my grandparents went. So I've never known another way of life. But I think it dawned on me as I got into my teens. You can't inherit being a Christian. God's no grandparent. You've got to come to the point where you realise you need more. It's not just going to church. It's knowing Jesus. I think I was about maybe 17 then. Without Jesus in my life, I don't know how I would cope at all.
Doreen, what did church mean to you during those war years?
Everything. Everything. You couldn't do nothing without you turned out in the morning with that. Every day I need you, Lord. You did, and you go home and you thanked him for that. And as I said, my granddad too was a big preacher to Aaron Davis. I used to go with my mum and take these flowers at night time to them that was ill and the name given in. My dad was a Christian, and so was my mum. And I've always got on with it because my mum and dad had me there 4 times a day, and it did me good. And I never, ever didn't praise the Lord, me love.